Okay, so here's a bit of a plant review. Here is some rock fern on driftwood. Very easy plant to keep. Wonderful plant even with fish that like to nibble on plants. So very, very good choice. Survives in most light. Can't go wrong. Now all these sorts of swordy plants, especially the coloured ones, tend to be a little bit harder to keep. You want a little bit more light and ensure that your tank's pretty good for plants. Wisteria grows very, very fast, very easy to keep, great for new tanks. If you find it starts going yellow, just fertilise it a bit. If you find it starts getting brown on the leaves, add a bit of Flourish Excel or some sort of organic carbon regularly, a couple of times a week. Now your violet or purple waffle and your aluminium is completely useless. Pretty good for goldfish because it's pretty tough, so when someone comes in and says, I want some weed for me fish tank, it's good to give them a bit of this stuff. The fish will eat it. If the fish don't eat it, it'll just die because it's not fully aquatic. Blue Strychnia's a little bit better, not a heap. All this violet type stuff, the semi-aquatic or subaquatic plants, just really good for goldfish, don't tend to live good long term. Wisteria, excellent, very fast growing plant, very beautiful, like Hygrophilia, very fast growing plant, very easy to keep. Vallis cinerea, does well everywhere, including garden ponds. Lace fern grows well, easy to keep. Ludwigia 2 and Ambulia, very easy to keep, fish love to eat it. Anubias with a bit of Java moss, super easy to keep, doesn't need a lot of light. Any of your coloured plants tend to be just a little bit harder to keep. This one's certainly not too bad. Pennywort doesn't tend to always do well, it's a bit iffy. Anubias, excellent, very easy to keep, low light plant, does really, really well. Milfoil does well sometimes, not always. Rock fern, excellent, very easy to keep. Sword plants, excellent, very easy to keep, particularly if your pH is not too high. Crypts, excellent, beautiful foreground plant. Chain swords, excellent. Liliopsis and hairgrass normally doesn't do that well. So all the mosses, Java moss is awesome, grows really well, very easy to keep, and same with the Anubias. So we've also got a whole big range of foreground plants. In general, the foreground plants need better light. They really do better with CO2 and ensuring that you have at least fertilized substrate or a plan for fertilizers. In general, when I recommend plants to people, it's a funny old thing. Sometimes someone puts plants in the tank, plants just kick ass from day one, rarely ever have a problem. Other people start finding holes in the leaves. That usually means someone's eating the plant. Other people find that the leaves start going a bit yellow. Then we would encourage increasing the fertilizer, maybe something like Flourish every couple of weeks. Get a bit of a routine. Then other people find black algae growing all over the plant, like blackbeard, and then if that's the case, I'll generally recommend something like Flourish Excel a couple of times a week, and that will help to ensure that the CO2 levels are okay for the plants and stops blackbeard issues. But basically, a lot of keeping of plants is suck it and see. You will put the plants in and just see how they react. And just like going to the nursery and putting plants in your garden, the response that one person gets versus another is quite varied. So it really just is a matter of knowing what to do when you see the signs that you know to look out for.